What's up, ladies and gents, Ghost here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the carbines in the Battlefield 4 beta, the AK5C and the ACW-R. So both of these weapons are absolutely amazing. You can unlock the carbines by playing the engineer class. I believe it's the third unlock. If I remember correctly, you'll get the AK5C to start off with, and if you then continue to use that weapon and gain some points in the carbine category, you will then unlock the ACW-R. And I can tell you, you definitely won't be disappointed with either of these weapons. And I'm going to go ahead and say hands down that they are simply some of the best weapons that are currently available in the beta. I can tell you that whenever I'm running engineer, support, or recon, almost probably 80% of the time I will be using a carbine. They're such a good all-round weapon, effective from low, medium, up to long ranges. You're going to notice that really the dominant weapon in the beta at the moment is the AK-12, and that's the reason a lot of people are playing Assault, and really the closest you're going to get to that with any other class is a carbine. Now, both these weapons have a lot of similarity, but where they mainly differ is in rate of fire. The AK5C has a rate of fire of 700, whereas the ACW-R has a rate of fire of 880, which is crazy. Back in BF3, it was one of the carbines, in fact the second fastest firing carbine in BF3, and it only had 850 RPM there. Now it's been buffed up to 880, and on top of that, it's been given 30 rounds in a magazine. So both these weapons have 30 rounds. Back in BF3, the ACW-R only had 27 rounds, and that was definitely one of its weak points. So that rate of fire change is definitely going to be the defining fact between these two carbines. The AK5C with 700 rounds per minute isn't going to be able to drop somebody quite as quick as the ACW-R up close and personal, but the recoil is going to be considerably more controllable at longer ranges. So it's going to be easier and quicker to drop people at range with the AK5C, but then again you're going to have the advantage up close with the ACW-R. They both have the same damage model, coming in at 25 max damage up to 10 meters and then dropping off to a minimum of 15.5 damage at a maximum of 70 meters. Both these weapons have a really nice reload time. The AK5C comes in at 1.8 seconds with one in the chamber and 2.3 seconds without one in the chamber, and the ACW-R clocks in at 2 seconds with one in the chamber and surprisingly only 1.8 seconds without one. So it's actually faster to reload the ACW-R without one in the chamber, and that's actually quite a nice bonus because more often than not you're going to be completely emptying the weapon due to its huge rate of fire. So that's quite a nice little bonus that it has there. Now, Simthic does have some stats for these weapons at the moment, but they haven't got anything down solid yet. According to them, the ACW-R has an upwards pull of 0.5 and no left to right pull, and the AK5C has an upwards pull of 0.58, so slightly more than the ACW-R, and it also has no left or right pull. But I decided I was going to go and try things out for myself and see what kind of spreads I could get with these weapons. Alright guys, so welcome to my little makeshift shooting range. I'm going to show you guys how the recoil of this weapon reacts at the moment. So I'm not going to move the mouse at all to compensate for the recoil. And then I'm going to do a little short, medium and long range spread to see what kind of a pattern we can get. So here we go. This is the AK5C. So the recoil seems to be pretty much up. I might have detected a slight, it seemed like a tiny little bit of a left pull, but nothing much. So let's see what kind of a spread I can get at sort of, I'd say this is pretty short range here. Okay, so pretty tight there. Medium range. Again, pretty good. Let's move to something a little bit more long range now. I'd say that probably behind these boxes here is pretty much the most long range you're going to get. So I probably burst fired a little bit less than I should have done then. But what the hey, let's see what kind of spreads we've gotten. Alright, so here you can see short range, medium range and long range. And now we're going to go and do exactly the same for the ACW-R. Alright guys, so here we are with the ACW-R. Those were the spreads from the AK5C. So I'm going to move over to this handy little wall over here, and we're going to do exactly the same thing for this weapon. So first of all, let's check out the uncontrolled recoil. That definitely does seem to pull a little bit slightly, ever so slightly up to the left. So no indication of that on Simthic, but it feels like it to me at least. I'm definitely pulling down on the mouse a lot more with this weapon than I have to with the AK5C. So let's try out medium range. That was around here. And then long range, we're going to go all the way. Where was it? We went behind those crates over there for that weapon. So it's going to be around here. I'm going to actually make sure that I can see the wall, though. There we go. Let's go and check that out. Now, I can see just by looking at the patterns from the AK5C that that's not that bad at all. I mean, here, short range and medium range, the medium range spread isn't much bigger than the short range one at all. And I only had to burst fire a little bit there. The long range one, I was burst firing quite a lot. But if you look at this spread here, and then we go, just keep that in mind, go and compare it to the spread of the AK5C, those are pretty comparable, really. So there you go, guys, that was my little recoil test, and I am going to go ahead and say, after seeing that and after playing with both weapons extensively, that at the moment in the beta, given the attachments that we have for the weapons, I do prefer the ACW-R, and I'll tell you why. First of all, the ACW-R is able to take somebody out at close to medium range much more effectively than the AK5C. Now, you may argue that it has a weak point when it comes to longer ranges, but really I think it just kind of comes down to controlling recoil. If you get good at the recoil control of the ACW-R, it's really bearable and it becomes a much better weapon than if you're not used to it. If you're somebody who isn't used to the recoil factors in Battlefield 4, then maybe you should stick with the AK5C, at least until you get better at controlling it. And I think that's the reason that they made that the starter carbine. It's a very good all-round carbine, great for all ranges, and it doesn't have a crazy RPM, so it's much easier to control than the ACW-R. Now, don't get me wrong here, the AK5C is a great weapon, and I'm not hands down saying that in the game in its entirety it is the worst weapon at all, but I think given the beta, given the map that we're playing on and the attachments that we have available to us, the ACW-R does have a slight advantage. The muzzle brake that you get and the ergo grip, they really cater to reduce the recoil a little bit with that high rate of fire, and it means that you can shoot on the go much more effectively. So, as those of you will know who have been subscribed to me for some time now, when I do a gun guide, I usually go quite in depth, but this isn't really so much as a review, just my sort of first impressions of these weapons in the beta. And of course, all the attachments aren't out for them, and we don't have all of these solid numbers to work around. There is some stuff over on simthic.com, but it's not solid gold proof yet. So once the Battlefield 4 beta is out and I've had much more time to mess around with these weapons, get all the attachments for them, see which works best, etc., I'll definitely go back and visit each of these guns separately. Now, if you're a new player, I definitely recommend playing the Engineer class first. It is such a good class, especially for this map when there is so much enemy armor that needs taking out, and you can unlock the Carbines, which can then be used with the Support class and the Recon class, and even if you want, the Assault class. So if you've yet to give the Carbines a look in the beta, definitely give it a go. You won't be disappointed. They're both awesome weapons, and I really have nothing bad to say about either of them. So I hope you enjoyed this little look at those weapons, guys, and hopefully it made you understand them a little bit more if you didn't already. A shout out to Boomman, who does Charlie Squad with us. He provided me with that awesome kill streak that he went on with the ACW-R, so props to him. I'll link his channel down below in the description. And that's about going to do it for this, guys, but I have a question for you. What weapons and what kits have you been enjoying the most? And if it's been a kit that hasn't been Assault, which weapon group have you been sticking with? Have you been going with the PDWs and the LMGs or that kind of thing? Or have you been, like me, using the Carbines? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, give us a big green thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.